I'm lying on the massage table, and the air in the room feels thick, like honey. It smells of lavender, but the scent doesn't calm me, it only makes my heart beat faster. Anton's fingers glide across my back, and I know this isn't just a massage. His touches are too slow, too deliberate, as if he's painting something on my skin that I can't see but feel with every cell of my body. I could tell him to stop. I could get up, grab my bag, and leave. But I don't move. My hands clutch the sheet, and my breath comes in short gasps, betraying me. My phone vibrates in the changing room, I can hear it even from here. It's Stepan, my Stepan, probably sitting at home, waiting for me to come back. I imagine his message, "Liza, are you almost home? Love you." The thought squeezes my chest, but not with guilt, with the heat spreading inside me as Anton leans closer. His breath brushes my neck, and goosebumps race across my skin. "You're not in a rush, are you?" he whispers, his voice like dark water pulling me deeper. It's not a question. It's temptation, and I know he senses my weakness. I could respond, tell him I have a boyfriend, that this is wrong. But my lips stay silent, and my body betrays me, leaning toward his warmth. I hate myself for it, but the hatred mixes with something else, desire I won't even admit to myself. I close my eyes, and Stepan flashes before them. His smile when he makes me coffee. His arms when he hugs me after a long day. His voice when he says I'm his everything. But those images fade, dissolving in the present moment, where there's only Anton, his strength, his scent, his whisper. I feel his fingers linger on my waist, and it's no accident. It's a question I haven't answered yet but already want to. The phone vibrates again, and the sound cuts through the silence like a knife. I flinch but don't turn my head. Anton notices, and I know he's smiling. I feel that smile even without seeing him. "Someone misses you," he says, and there's something playful yet dangerous in his tone, like he knows I'm already his. I could protest, say I have to go, that I can't stay. But the words stick in my throat, choked by the heat pulsing through my veins. I think of Stepan, how he trusts me, how he looks at me like I'm his world. But here, in this room, my world narrows to Anton, to his hands, to his voice promising something I shouldn't want. I know I'm standing on the edge. I know one step, and I'll lose everything I have. But my feet don't move, my heart beats in rhythm with his movements, and I let myself sink into this moment. His fingers brush my shoulder, soft but firm, as if testing if I'm still here. And I am. I don't leave. I stay, letting this heat consume me, letting myself forget Stepan, our promises, everything that came before. "Relax," Anton says, and the word sounds like a spell. I feel my muscles loosen, but not from the massage, from surrendering. The phone falls silent, and the quiet is louder than any sound. In that silence, I hear my own heart, beating not for Stepan but for Anton. I know this is betrayal. I know I've already made a choice, even if I haven't said it out loud. And that thought tightens my chest, but I don't stop. I let myself fall, and this fall is the sweetest thing I've ever felt. I'm sitting in my car outside the salon, my fingers gripping the steering wheel as if it could hold me back from what I'm doing. I know Anton isn't just a masseur. His looks, his compliments, his touches, they all scream danger, but I can't stop thinking about him. Every time I close my eyes, I see his face, feel his hands, hear his voice that makes my heart tremble. I booked another session, even though I know I shouldn't. It's like a fever I don't want to cure. Stepan's at home, probably cooking dinner or watching a show, waiting for me to come back. His hugs used to be my refuge, but now they feel like a cage. I look into his eyes, and his trust cuts me like glass. I want to be the Liza he loves, but another Liza, the one awakened by Anton's hands, won't leave me alone. I hate myself for it, but the hatred only fuels the fire burning inside me. I don't sleep at night. My thoughts are a storm that won't calm. Why can't I stop? Why do I let Anton take over my mind? I remember his eyes, dark, deep, like they see the real me, the one I hide from everyone, even Stepan. I remember his whisper, and my body shudders as if he's here, beside me. I hate myself for it, but I can't get him out of my head. When Stepan kisses me, I close my eyes and imagine Anton. It's like a knife in my heart, but I can't stop these fantasies. I look at Stepan, at his kind eyes, at his hands that have never hurt me, and feel the chasm between us growing. I want to go back to him, to our life, but something in me has changed. I've become someone else, and this other me wants Anton, his warmth, his danger. I try to distract myself. I go to work, have coffee with friends, laugh at their jokes. But it's all a game where I pretend to be myself. Every free moment, my thoughts return to the salon, to Anton, to his hands that know how to awaken something wild in me. I know I'll go back to him. I know I'll lie on that table again, let him touch me again. And that thought makes my heart pound like it wants to break free from my chest. I open my phone and look at my appointment with Anton. My fingers buzz as I think about canceling it. I could block his number, find another masseur, forget everything. But I imagine walking into the salon, Anton smiling at me, his hands finding my skin again. And that image is stronger than any reason. I tell myself it doesn't mean anything. That it's just a massage, just a moment of weakness. I'll go one more time to prove I can keep it under control. That I'm stronger than my desires. It's a lie, and I know it, but I cling to it like a lifeline. I won't let Anton own me. I won't let myself betray Stepan. But even as I repeat these words, my fingers reach for the phone to confirm the appointment. I start the car, and my hands tremble. I imagine Anton opening the salon door, his eyes finding mine, his voice making me forget everything. I hate myself for it, but I can't stop. I drive to him, and every kilometer brings me closer to the abyss I've dug myself. My soul screams for me to turn back, but my heart beats to the rhythm of his name, and I know I won't stop. I promised myself I'd be strong. I repeated it this morning, standing in front of the mirror, looking into eyes that no longer feel like mine. I won't let Anton get closer. I won't let myself give in. I love Stepan, and that should be enough. But when I cross the salon's threshold, my promises crack like thin ice. Anton stands there in his white uniform, his smile a magnet pulling me in, refusing to let me escape. "Liza, you're back," he says, his voice piercing me like lightning. I want to respond coldly, say it's just a massage, that I'm here for my health. But he doesn't lead me to the table right away. He stops in the reception area, offers me water, and starts talking. About small things, weather, music, my dress. His words are light, but every compliment is a spark falling on dry grass. "You look special today," he says, and his eyes linger on me, as if I'm the only one in this room, in this world. My cheeks burn, and I know he sees it. I could leave. I could say I'm in a hurry, that I don't have time to chat. So I stay, holding the glass so tightly I'm afraid it'll shatter in my hands. I listen to him, and every joke, every glance makes my heart beat faster. He asks about my week, and before I know it, I'm talking. About work, friends, and then, about Stepan. About how he sometimes doesn't notice when I'm sad, how he forgets to say something important. Anton listens, leaning closer, and his attention is a trap I'm falling into. I know I'm saying too much, opening up to someone I barely know. I try to stop, but he gently steers the conversation back to me. "You need someone who sees you," he says, and those words hit me, knocking the breath out of me. I feel my walls crumbling, leaving me vulnerable, exposed before him. In the massage room, it gets worse. His hands touch my skin, and every movement is a question I'm afraid to answer. I try to think of Stepan, our evenings, his laughter. But those thoughts are weak, drowning in Anton's warmth, his strength, his presence. I lie there, eyes closed, feeling my body betray me. His fingers slide down my back, lingering where they shouldn't, and I know he's waiting for my reaction. I could tell him to stop. I could get up and leave. But my breath grows heavier, and he hears it. His hands grow bolder, and I don't stop him. I hate myself for it, but the hatred mixes with the heat consuming me. I know every moment here pulls me further from Stepan, from our life, from everything I thought was mine. But I can't break free. Anton is a storm, and I let it swallow me. When the session ends, he doesn't step away. He stands close, looking at me, his eyes promising more. "You're special, Liza," he says, and my name on his lips sounds like seduction. I could stay silent, leave without looking back. But I look at him, and my lips tremble as I whisper, "Thank you." I walk out of the salon, my legs shaking like I've just run a marathon. I sit in my car, and my thoughts are a whirlpool pulling me under. I know I've stepped onto a dangerous path. I know Anton isn't just a masseur, and I'm not just a client. And that thought makes my heart pound so loud it drowns out everything: guilt, fear, love for Stepan. I drive home, but I feel like I no longer belong to myself. I'm sitting across from Stepan at dinner, and his voice is background noise. He talks about his day, laughs, but I barely hear him. My thoughts are elsewhere, with Anton, with his hands that touched me like I was his. I hate myself for it, but I can't get him out of my head. His looks, his whispers, his warmth, they live in me like a virus poisoning every cell. I could tell Stepan the truth. I could confess that the masseur looks at me in ways he shouldn't, that his touches make me forget who I am. But I'm afraid of his eyes, afraid to see pain, accusation, disappointment in them. What if he thinks I wanted this? That I provoked Anton? My throat tightens, and I swallow the words trying to break free. So I start lying. At first, it's small things. "Got held up at work," I say when I come back from the salon, my cheeks burning not from the heat but from his touches. "Was with a friend," I answer when he asks why I didn't pick up the phone. My words sound natural, but every time I lie, I feel a part of me die. I look at Stepan, at his trusting smile, and my chest tightens with pain. But I don't stop. Every session with Anton is a breath of air I'm starving for. His voice envelopes me, his hands awaken something I was afraid to acknowledge. I know it's wrong, but when I'm in that room, I forget everything. There's no Stepan, no guilt, no rules. There's only Anton, his strength, his desire mirroring my own. I hate myself for it, but the hatred is fuel, stoking my fire. I justify myself. I tell myself it's just a massage, that I'm not doing anything bad. But I know it's a lie. His hands aren't just kneading my muscles, they're exploring, tempting, demanding. And I respond, not with words, but with my silence, my breath, my trembling. I let him see me in a way I shouldn't be seen by anyone but Stepan. Stepan notices I've changed. "You're not yourself," he says when I turn away from his kiss. I smile, but my smile is crooked, unnatural. "Just tired," I reply, and my voice sounds foreign. I see doubt in his eyes, and it cuts me, but I can't tell the truth. The truth would destroy us, and I'm not ready to lose him. I start hiding. I check my phone when Stepan's asleep to make sure Anton hasn't texted. I delete call logs, though he hasn't called. I feel like a thief stealing my own life, but this theft makes me feel alive. The lies add spice to my connection with Anton, making it more dangerous, more alluring. When I drive to the salon, my heart pounds like I'm running from someone. I imagine Anton opening the door, his eyes finding mine, his voice making me forget everything. I know he's my weakness, my mistake, my betrayal. But I can't stop. It's like falling, scary but thrilling. I glance in the rearview mirror, and my reflection feels foreign. Who is this woman with burning eyes? Who is this woman lying to the man she loves for the sake of another's hands? I know Stepan deserves better. I know I'm tearing his heart apart, even if he doesn't know it yet. But Anton is a magnet, and I'm drawn to him, unable to stop. I park near the salon, and my hands tremble as I open the door. I know I'll go in. I know I'll let him get closer. And that thought sets my chest ablaze, my soul screaming, but I don't listen. I'm lying on the massage table, and every sound in this room is like a gunshot. The ticking clock, the creaking floor, my own breath, they all make my heart race. Anton always kept the music low so we could talk, so I could hear his voice seeping into me like a warm current. But this time, he plays something different, slow, sensual, with low notes vibrating in my chest. Then I hear a click. He locks the door. My eyes snap open, but I don't turn my head. I know he's watching me. I feel his gaze like a touch sliding across my skin. For coziness, he says, his voice a whisper of the night promising secrets. I could get up. I could say I'm uncomfortable, that I want to leave. So I stay, my body heavy, chained to the table by an invisible force stronger than my will. He steps closer, and I feel his warmth without touching him. His hands rest on my shoulders, and this touch isn't a massage. It's slow, intentional, like he wants to memorize every curve of my skin. My breath catches, and I know he hears it. His fingers slide lower, to my waist, and I grip the sheet, trying to hold on to a reality that's melting like smoke. I think of Stepan. His gentle hands, his smile, his voice that once made my heart sing. But those thoughts are weak, dissolving in the present moment, where there's only Anton, his strength, his scent. I hate myself for it, but the hatred drowns in the heat spreading through my veins. I want to stop, but my body betrays me, reaching for him like a flower to the sun. You're tense, he says, his voice closer than I expected. I feel his breath on my neck, and it's a spark igniting me. I could tell him to stop. I could remind him I belong to another, that Stepan is waiting for me. But my lips tremble, and only a soft breath escapes instead of words. Anton hears it, and his hands grow bolder. They glide down my back, lingering where they shouldn't, and every movement is a dance where I'm his partner, even if I don't want to admit it. I feel my body respond, my skin humming under his fingers, my will melting like snow in the sun. I know this is betrayal. I know I've already crossed the line, even if I haven't said it aloud. I imagine Stepan opening our apartment door, his eyes searching for me, calling my name. The thought tightens my chest, but Anton leans closer, and his whisper drowns out everything. You deserve more, he says, and those words cut me but also promise something I shouldn't want. I know I'm standing on the edge of an abyss. I know one move, one glance, and I'll fall. But my body has already decided for me. My breath syncs with his movements, my skin reaches for his warmth, my heart beats to the rhythm of the music filling the room. I hate myself, but this hatred is part of the heat consuming me. When the session ends, Anton doesn't step away. He stands close, his eyes a promise of a storm. I sit up, my legs trembling, but I look at him, and in that look is everything I can't say. Until next time, he says, and it's not a goodbye. It's a challenge. I nod, not trusting my voice, and walk out, feeling my world crack at the seams, but I can't stop this fall. I'm sitting in my car, my hands shaking so much I can barely hold the steering wheel. I could have stopped it. I could have said no to Anton when his hands stopped being professional, when his whispers grew too close. I could have gotten up and left, saving myself for Stepan, for our life, for our love. But I didn't. His gaze, his voice, his touches were stronger than me. They broke my will, and I let myself fall, let myself betray. I close my eyes, and I see that moment when it happened. His hands weren't massaging, they were caressing, demanding, promising. His words were a spell, pulling me from reality into another world where there was no guilt, no Stepan, no rules. I remember my breath growing heavy, my body reaching for him, forgetting who I was and what I was losing. It wasn't weakness. It was betrayal, and I knew it, even as I let Anton get closer. So I sit here, feeling my world fall apart. I imagine going home, Stepan hugging me, his lips brushing my forehead. But the thought chills me. I'm no longer his. My body, my thoughts, my desire, all belong to Anton, though I hate myself for it. I feel dirty, but this dirt is like wine stains I don't want to wash away. I open my phone to text Stepan that I'll be home soon. But my fingers freeze. I can't look him in the eyes, not after what I've done. I know I've betrayed him, and that truth is a knife in my heart. But part of me, the part I'm scared to acknowledge, rejoices. Rejoices that I felt alive, desired, free, even if it was just for a moment. I drive home, and Stepan greets me with dinner. He smiles, tells me something funny, but I barely hear him. My thoughts are in that massage room, with Anton, with his hands that awaken something wild in me. I force myself to smile, but every move is a performance where I play the role of a good girlfriend. I lie in bed next to Stepan but can't sleep. His breathing irritates me because it reminds me of what I'm losing. The next day, my phone lights up with a message. "You know where to find me," Anton writes. I could delete his number, block him, tell myself it was just once. But I read his words over and over, and they echo in his voice, low, seductive. I imagine him texting me, his lips curving into a smile, knowing I'll come back. And that thought makes my body tremble, my heart race. I know this is destroying me. I know every step toward Anton pulls me further from Stepan, from our life, from everything I once thought mattered. But I can't stop. It's like a hunger I can't satisfy. I hate myself, but this hatred is part of what pulls me back, to his hands, his voice, his promises. I get up and go to the bathroom to look at myself in the mirror. My eyes are darker than before, like a shadow has settled in them. I touch my lips, imagining his kiss, and my body burns. I know I'll go back to him. I know I'll let him take more. I hate myself for it, but I can't stop. My fingers tremble as I open his message again, and I know I'm lost. My soul screams, but I don't listen. I'm flying to him, and this fall is the sweetest thing I've ever felt. I'm sitting in the kitchen, holding a cold cup of coffee, and my thoughts are a storm that won't subside. I thought what happened with Anton would be a one-time thing. A mistake I'd bury deep in my soul and forget. But the next day, my phone lit up with his message, "You know where to find me." Those words are a hook, catching me and pulling me back to him, to what I tried to bury. I stare at the screen, and my fingers tremble. I could delete his message, block him, tell myself it's over. So I read his words again, and they echo in my head in his voice, low, confident, seductive. I imagine him sitting somewhere, smiling, knowing I won't resist. And that thought sets my chest ablaze, though I hate myself for it. I start hiding. I delete his messages, check my phone when Stepan's in another room, erase any traces that could give me away. I feel like a thief stealing moments from my own life, but this theft is like a drug. Every time I see his name, my heart skips a beat, and I hate myself, but I can't stop. I lie to Stepan more and more. Met up with a friend, I say when I go to the salon. Was at the gym, I answer when I come back with trembling hands. My lies are a second skin, and I wear them with pride and shame at once. I look at Stepan, at his trusting eyes, and feel my heart tear apart. But I can't stop. Anton is my obsession, and I'm flying to him, even knowing I'll crash. When I go to the salon, he greets me like I'm the only one in his world. His gaze slides over me, and I feel desired, alive, needed. He doesn't push, doesn't rush, but every move is part of a game I've already lost. I hate him for it, but I hate myself more for wanting this game. His hands find my skin, and I forget everything, Stepan, guilt, myself. I tried to stop. Once, I even cancelled a session, convincing myself it was over. But that evening, I texted him, asking if he had time tomorrow. His reply came instantly, "There's always a spot for you." And I knew I was done for. I knew I'd go back, let him take more, betray Stepan again. Stepan notices I'm not the same. "You're distant," he says when I turn away from his hug. I smile, but my smile is like cracking glass. "Just a lot of work," I reply, my voice shaking. I see doubt in his eyes, but he doesn't press. And that makes my guilt sharper, like a knife slowly cutting me from the inside. I know I can't keep going like this. I know one day Stepan will find out, my lies will unravel, and everything I have will collapse. But the thought of stopping, of giving up Anton, is like death. I imagine his smile, his touch, and my body responds, even as my mind screams that it's wrong. I get up and go to the mirror. My eyes are like dark lakes where the old Liza drowned. I touch my lips, imagining his kiss, and my hands tremble. I know I'll go back to him. I know I'll let him take everything that's left. I hate myself, but this hatred is part of me, part of what makes me feel alive. I open his message again, and my fingers tremble as I imagine walking into the salon. My soul screams, but I don't listen. I'm flying to him, and this fall is all I have. I'm sitting on the couch, holding my phone so tightly it might crack. Stepan has noticed I've changed. My smiles are rarer, my answers shorter, my glances fleeting. Liza, what's wrong? He asks when I avoid his hug again. I brush it off, smiling, but my smile is a mask about to fall. But I can't tell him the truth. I can't confess that I've betrayed him, that my thoughts are with another, that my heart is torn between guilt and desire. So Stepan starts watching me. Not openly, not with shouts or accusations, but I notice small things. How he lingers on my phone when I leave it on the table. How he asks where I was with a new edge in his voice. How he once glances into my bag, like he's looking for something. I feel his trust melting, and it cuts me like glass. But I can't stop. Anton is a fire, and I'm flying to him, even knowing I'll burn. I get more careful. I delete Anton's messages, clear call logs, check for any traces I might have left. But one evening, I forget. I fall asleep, leaving my phone on the nightstand, and I don't see Stepan take it. When I wake up, he's sitting on the edge of the bed, holding my phone, his face a stone mask. "Who's Anton?" he asks, his voice quiet but carrying a storm. My heart stops. I could lie, say he's just a masseur, that it means nothing. But I see in his eyes that he knows. He found messages I didn't delete, "You know where to find me, thinking of you." I open my mouth, but no words come. My throat tightens, and I feel tears burn my eyes, but I don't let them fall. I know I'm guilty. I know I've ruined everything. Stepan doesn't yell. He doesn't make a scene. He just stands, puts the phone on the bed, and walks to another room. The silence left behind is louder than any scream. I sit, staring into the void, feeling my world collapse. I know it's my fault. I know I betrayed him for a fleeting thrill, for Anton, who might not even think of me outside the salon. I imagine going to Anton, telling him Stepan found out, searching his eyes for support. But I know he's not the one who stays. He's a seducer, and I'm just a game to him. And that thought tightens my chest, but I can't blame him. I made the choice. I let him take me. I get up and go to the bathroom to wash my face. Cold water stings my skin but doesn't wash away the shame. I look in the mirror and don't recognize myself. Where's the Liza who laughed with Stepan, who dreamed of our future? She's been replaced by this woman with dark circles under her eyes, trembling lips, a tearing heart. I know I have to talk to Stepan. I have to explain, apologize, try to save what's left. But my phone lights up, and I see Anton's message, "Waiting for you tomorrow." My fingers tremble as I imagine going to him, his hands touching me, his voice drowning out my pain. I hate myself for it. I hate that even now, when everything's falling apart, I'm thinking of him. I close my eyes and imagine his smile, his touch, his whisper. My chest burns, but my soul screams. I know I've lost Stepan. I know I've betrayed him, myself, us. But Anton is a magnet, and I can't break free. I open his message again, and my fingers tremble as I imagine going back to him. My soul falls into an abyss, and I don't know if I want to stop. I'm sitting in an empty apartment, holding Stepan's note, "I deserve better." His things are gone, his scent has faded, his voice no longer echoes in these walls. I wait for tears, for my chest to rip apart with pain, for me to fall to my knees and beg him to come back. But it doesn't happen. Instead, I feel a cold clarity, like crystal cutting through my fog. Guilt, shame, anger, they merge into something new, something hard as steel. I'm no longer the Liza who trembled for Anton. I'm no longer a victim of my desires. I stand and walk to the mirror. My eyes are red, but there's no weakness in them. I see myself, not the one who lied to Stepan, not the one who fell into Anton's arms, but a new Liza who knows she has to fix her mistakes. I don't cry. I don't scream. I breathe evenly, and every breath fills me with strength I didn't know I had. I betrayed, but I won't let that betrayal define me. I remember Anton, his smile, his voice, his touches that once felt like everything. But now I see him clearly. He used me, knew how to play on my weaknesses, how to lure me into a trap. I don't fully blame him. I made the choice, I let him get close. But I won't give him power over me anymore. He's my mistake, but not my end. I open my phone and look at his last message, waiting for you tomorrow. My fingers tremble, but not with desire. I delete his number, and it's like a blow to the chains that held me. I imagine him waiting at the salon, his smile fading when I don't show up. And that thought curves my lips into a faint smile. I'm no longer his. I'm no longer the one who runs at his call. I know I've lost Stepan. I know my betrayal destroyed us, and that pain is a shadow that will follow me always. But I won't let it paralyze me. I won't be the one who drowns in self-pity. I'll be the one who learns, who grows, who takes responsibility for her actions. I sit at the table and open my laptop. I write, not a letter, not a confession, but a plan. Anton won't stop. He'll find another, lure her like he did me. But I won't let him continue. I remember how I feared his gaze, how I trembled at his words. But now I'm not afraid. I feel strength, not of anger, not of tears, but of a mind that sees clearly. I'll keep the evidence, the messages still left, the recordings of his words I have. I won't act out of revenge. I'll act with truth, stronger than any anger. I walk to the window, and the city beyond the glass lives its life. It doesn't know my guilt, my pain, but it gives me a chance to start again. I know there's a long road ahead. A road to forgiving myself, to a new Liza who won't hide anymore. I touch the glass, and my reflection looks at me with new confidence. I don't know if I'll ever win Stepan back. I don't know if I deserve it. But I know I deserve better than being a toy in Anton's hands. I deserve a life where I decide who I am. I breathe deeply, and every breath is a promise. I'm no longer the one who falls. I'm the one who rises. My chest is lighter, my heart beats steady, and I know I'm ready to move forward. I made a mistake, but I won't let it break me. I'm Liza, and I choose myself. I'm sitting in a cafe, holding my phone with an open document. My movements are measured, my thoughts clear as crystal. I'm no longer the Liza who trembled for Anton, who lied to Stepan, who lost herself in forbidden heat. I'm new, cold, strategic, unyielding. Anton will pay for what he did, but not with my tears or screams. He'll pay with the truth I'll reveal, and that truth will be sharp as a blade. I've gathered everything I had. Screenshots of our messages, where his words crossed the line. Recordings of his whispers I kept, even when I tried to forget. I even found reviews from other women hinting at his excessive attention, but too afraid to say more. I'm not afraid. I know truth is my weapon, and I'll use it with a surgeon's precision. I could go to Anton, make a scene, pour out all my anger. But that would be too easy, too emotional. I want him to feel the consequences slowly, like poison seeping into his blood. I open the salon's website and write a formal complaint. I lay it all out clearly, dates, times, his words, his actions. I attach evidence and send a copy to the salon's owner. My fingers don't tremble. My words are stones hitting their mark. But it's not enough. I know Anton could wriggle out, convince everyone it was a misunderstanding. So I go further. I create an anonymous post in local groups, describing his behavior, without a name, but with details that leave no doubt. I urge women to be cautious, to check who they trust. My words are a stone in a still lake, and the ripples reach far, touching those who stayed silent. I don't stop. I find contacts of a few clients who left reviews and write to them, gently asking if they noticed anything strange. Some ignore me, but 2 respond, and their stories mirror mine. I collect their testimonies, keeping them anonymous, and add them to my complaint. I don't act out of anger. I act with cold confidence that makes me stronger than I was. A week later, the salon responds. They've fired Anton for ethical violations. I read their letter and feel not joy, but calm. This isn't revenge for revenge's sake. It's justice I brought not just for myself, but for those who could have been next. I imagine Anton reading the reviews, seeing his world crumble. I imagine his shock, his anger, his helplessness. And my lips curve into a faint smile. I know Stepan won't come back. I wrote him a letter, long, honest, apologizing for everything. I didn't ask for forgiveness because I know I don't deserve it. But I wanted him to know I acknowledge my guilt, that I've changed, that I'm learning to be better. I sent the letter and felt the weight on my chest lighten. I don't know if he read it. But I did what I had to. I step outside, and the city greets me with noise, light, life. I breathe deeply, feeling the air cleanse me. I know there's a long road ahead. A road to myself, to a new Liza who won't lie, won't hide, won't let anyone manipulate her feelings. I look at the sky, where stars break through the dusk, and my chest is lighter than it was. I made a mistake. I betrayed Stepan, myself, us. But I won't let that mistake break me. I'm Liza, and I choose myself. My steps are firm, my eyes clear, and I know I'm ready to move forward. My pain is my teacher, my truth is my shield, and I'm no longer afraid. I breathe, and every breath is a promise to a new day, a new me, a new life.